वर्णवेशरमणीयदर्शनं मन्दाचरुचिराणाम्बुजं पूजितं सुरनरोत्तमेर्मुदा धर्मनन्दन्महं विचिन्तये। श्री स्वामिनारायणाय नमो नमः। श्री हरिकृष्णाय नमो नमः। श्री लक्ष्मीनारायण देवनी जय। श्री राधारमण देवनी जय। श्री नरनारायण देवनी जय। ओम श्री कृष्णभंजन देवनी जय। श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हर हर पार्वती देव श्री शिवाय नमः। Now today's satsang is February 6th, right? Today 2021 Saturday. His Holiness Shastriji Maharaj disappearance day was yesterday, February 5th, 1988, according to the Gurukul calendar, 33 years ago. On that occasion of that satsang, there are let's see, the three people are sponsoring. Two are one is annual, one is permanent, and one is new. Is devotee Manjula Ben and Ganpat Bhai Suthar and family for their son. What's his name? Let me see here. Vidhi Ben and Ashish Bhai Suthar for the birthday of their son Veer. In this occasion, so they sponsored for that. So may Lord bless the Veer and give the healthy, prosperous life and devotional life as well. And also second satsang is sponsored by annual pencil, so he's a penman. All the satsang he sponsored is Nima Ben and Nishad Bhai Patel and family, Hastak Veer and Viva, their son and daughter. And third satsang is sponsored by our family, is always permanent, all the satsang for us. And that is for our daughter Krishna's birthday today. Okay, it's February 7th, tomorrow. So we are doing celebrate. Also the Radhika's birthday was in January. So January, and so always we do January, February together. And October and November is Hari and Aarti and Hari. So may Lord bless them, give the prosperous life and have devotional life, healthy life, and may fulfillment their good desire to them, and give their devotional service to the God. And so myself, Rupal, Dr. Radhika, Dr. Aarti and Dr. Sonak, Krishna, Hari Krishna, and all our families. Sahajan Swaminarayan. So first I will do is the Janmangal. So may Lord bless this sponsor family and do good for everybody, all the devotees. And so Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha, Om Shri Vasudevaya Namaha, Om Shri Naranarayan Namaha, Om Shri Prabhe Namaha, Om Shri Bhakti Dharmatmajaya Namaha, Om Shri Ajmane Namaha, Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha, Om Shri Narayana Namaha, Om Shri Hari Namaha, Om Shri Hari Krishnaya Namaha, Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Dharmikaya Namaha, Om Shri Bauddharaya Namaha, Om Shri Suddhaya Namaha, Om Shri Radha Krishnasta Devataya Namaha, Om Shri Marutsagriya Namaha, Om Shri Kali Bhirvakti Vishnaya Namaha, Om Shri Jitendraya Namaha, Om Shri Divrvirajaya Namaha, Om Shri Astikaya Namaha, Om Shri Yogeshwaraya Namaha, Om Shri Guruve Namaha, Om Shri Ajatvarane Namaha, Om Shri Nirlobhaya Namaha, Om Shri Mahapurushaya Namaha, Om Shri Atmadaya Namaha, Om Shri Khanjanamariyadaya Namaha, Om Shri Vashidhanabodhkaya Namaha, Om Shri Manonigrihtignaya Namaha, Om Shri Yamdutimochkaya Namaha, Om Shri Punakame Namaha, Om Shri Satyavadine Namaha, Om Shri Gurugahine Namaha, Om Shri Gadasmaya Namaha, Om Shri Sadachar Priyatanaaya Namaha, Om Shri Purnasamadkitaya Namaha, Om Shri Sarvamangalagnavistaya Namaha, Om Shri Swaminarayan Namaha. I also bow down today to His Holiness the Shastriji Maharaj, Sri Dharma Jivandas Swami, and Purani Prem Prakash Das Ji Sahajanand Swami Maharaj. Now, Kirtanam. Okay. તારું આવે જાય કીર્તન ગાવું હોય તો. હરિ હૈયાના હાર છો by Rupal Babalia. Okay, go ahead.
હરિ હૈયાના હાર છો જીર તમે હરિ હૈયાના હાર છો સેજ તળા શણગાર છો જીર તમે હરિ હૈયાના હાર છો મુખથી શું ગણું કહીએ મોહન રે પ્રાણ તણાયાધાર છે ચીર તમે હરિ હૈયાના હાર છો વાલપણામાં અતિશય વાલા રે નટવર નંદ કુમાર છો ચીર તમે હરિ હૈયાના હાર છો ધૂરી જાનિયાને દૂર ગણા છો પ્રેમી તે જનના પ્રાણ છો ચીર તમે હરિ હૈયાના હાર છો મુક્તાનંદ કહે નર નાટક ધારી રે શરણાગતના સાર છે જીર તમે હરિ હૈયાના હાર છો હરિ હૈયાના હાર છો જીર તમે હરિ હૈયાના હાર છો સદાનંદ સ્વામી મહારાજ.
You are Hari, you are my everything. That was his about.
Oh.
Now I'm going to sing about Dil Lagya Hamara Fakiri Se, Dil Lagya Hamara Fakiri Se. This is made by the Brahman Swami when the Nawab, one of the Muslim king, was in Junagadh city. He was the king of that area. And Lord Swaminarayan has sent to the Brahman Swami there when he wants to make the temple there in Junagadh Mandir. And first, before he met, he was the poet of the state, okay? The government. All the state, all the king, he used to go and sing the different poetry and all this stuff. And all the kings were giving them a lot of the gold and all this stuff. Then after that, he became the sadhu of the Swaminarayan, and they give up everything. And then Brahman Swami was sent by the Lord Swaminarayan to the Junagadh to see the Nawab to make the temple there and get the land for that. Because it's a Muslim kingdom, so that's asked for the Muslim king. Nawab was so good guy, he was a good guy. So what he did is, he said to Brahman Swami that Brahman Swami, I can give you the make the temple, no problem, but you have to make my poetry. Then the Nawab said that one. So Brahman Swami said, now I can't do it because I have already dedicated to Lord Swaminarayan. I only make for the Allah, our Lord, nobody else. And he said, okay, no problem. Then still he gave the land there and temple was made there. Okay, so temple is in Junagadh. And then they also put some masjid on the upper part. Little bit they made masjid to respect to the Nawab.
Oh.
Yeah. Small part they make on the pillar upper part.
That's why it's so tall.
Yeah.
Okay, it was like a parapet type of
They made
design.
little
Like
bit sample there for the mosque.
Oh, okay.
Little bit on the not all but part of that. What do you call that?
Spire?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And then Brahman Swami, when he said make the poetry mine, then he said I can make poetry of the Lord. And then he said, Dila lagya hamara fakiri se, Dila lagya hamara par. My heart is now on the sannyas, in the detachment. vairagya, and I become sannyasi.
Oh.
So he said that, sadhu. Dil lagya hamara fakiri se, dil lagya hamara fakiri se, दुनियादार दुखी सब देखे, दुनियादार दुखी सब देखे, राकरु राम दिलगिरी से, दिल लाग्या हमारा फकीरी से, दिल लाग्या हमारा फकीरी से, दुनियादार दुखी सब देखे, राख राव दिलगिरी से. All the universe, all the world looks like with full of the unhappiness. Now only I can like is the God. तीन ताप जग व्याप रहो है, तीन ताप जग व्याप रहो है, ए जरत है मोह जंजीरी से, दिल लाग्या हमारा फकीरी से, दिल लाग्या हमारा फकीरी से. All this world full of with the tin tap, means three unhappiness, dukh. And zarat hai moh zanjeeri, everything is bound with the attachment with the maya. पाया धन सो रहत न पावे, पाया धन सो रहत न पावे, मर गया कर कर मेरी से, दिल लाग्या हमारा फकीरी. Paya dhan, whatever you get in wealth is not going to stay. Rahatana power, it is not going to stay forever with you. Once time you have to go, so it will remain here. Mar gaya kar kar mere, always say this is mine, mine, but you still die. So join with the God. That's it. You can have to do these things when you are in material world, but you have to understand, develop your understanding like that. So one time you have to go. So whatever you do, use good things on those, good for people, good for devotees, good for the righteousness. Okay. Then what is that? Brahman Swami કહે છે. Brahman Swami કહે છે. શું કહે છે? ब्रह्मानंद कहे आनंद पाए, ब्रह्मानंद कहे आनंद पाए, अदल ब्रह्म खमीरी से, दिल लाग्या हमारा फकीरी से, दिल लाग्या हमारा फकीरी से. Brahman Swami said that I get all the happiness, ananda paye. I received all the ananda from the God if I am detached now from everything. Adala Brahma Khamiri se, all very things, everything like a Brahma. And I joined to the Parabrahma. Sahajananda Swami Maharaj Jai. Chahasitam ashyasti ve mangalam, netre mangalade cha durvilasitam, nunam param mangalam, vaktram mangalapakucha pada chalitam, asyakhile mangalam, soyam mangalamurti क्रीडासु जगतो नित्यं क्रियान मंगलम। सजानंद स्वामी महाराज ની જય, હરે કૃષ્ણ મહારાજ ની જય। પૂજ્ય ગુરુ શ્રી શાસ્ત્રીજી મહારાજ ધર્મજીવનદાસ સ્વામી left this universe. He was born in July 1901 and he left 1988 on February 5th, 1988. And my brother Dhirubai, especially, he went there. They kept 2 days his material body here, but it was so lightful. You see that movie? Did you see that movie? Yeah. And everything was so spiritual. And when divine person goes to the divine abode of God, their material body doesn't give any rigor mortis. You can do like that, whatever way they are no problem. And Shastriji Maharaj body was like that. My father and mother went, they did same thing. You know, because they are all great devotees. Sometimes to be a devotee, you don't need to be educated. You don't need to be anything. You need to be joined in the swarup of the God and do the devotion. And that devotion make you perfect. Nothing needed. You become the Ekantik Bhakta. So we bow down to His Holiness Shastriji Maharaj, and he is in the divine abode of God. Blessing from there to us. And whatever I am here to is all of His blessing, and my parents. And Shastriji Maharaj has a vision. So he said that I want to propagate these principles of Lord Swaminarayan to the all other universe in this world, not only India. And for that he promoted me, because I had a desire from childhood to give the message of Lord Swaminarayan in real form. So I used to ask to my temple in Devrajya, "Oh Maharaj, give me the energy and give me the intelligence." I don't have any intelligence, but you give me intelligence. Give me the language so I can learn other language. And I can give to this knowledge to the other people. And that's the way, because of the Shastriji Maharaj's desire, inner desire, good desire to do this. So when I went to the Santo Domingo, I was there, I was not staying there, I want to come back and all this stuff I told you before. So then ultimately I stayed there because of the Purani Swami and Shastriji Maharaj. And because they want to propagate the Swaminarayan principles there. And that's why we have temple there. Great devotees like you, and the Enrique Guzman, the Ghanshyam Bhagat, Hore Solano, Yogesh Bhagat, Ma Saraswati Viriya Bhagavadija, there are many others. They were so divine. They went to the divine abode of God as well. So I bow down to His Holiness Shastriji Maharaj, Purani Swami, and all the Guru Parampara, our Shajan and Shandaran. Now I am going to do the Vachanamritam. Vachanamritam is there are 2 Vachanamritam. Gadara Madhyam 18 and 19, they are talking about the philosophy, barren philosophy of the Vedanta, people who doesn't believe in God, that one is talking about. So he said don't do association with the people who are not understanding Veda and they misunderstanding the Veda and doing the wrong way to become the competitor of the God. Like those people, we should not associate with them. And also the people who are not believer of God, also not to associate with them if you want to progress your fellowship with the Lord. So let's see. Swaminarayan Hare, Swaminarayan Hare, Savanadar So Chodadam Aksharvadi Shachane Divasa, Swami Sri Sajanji Maharaj Sigarla Madhye, Dada Kachana Darbarma, Potana Utarane Vishe, Gadi Tikya Kavine Virajman હતા અને ધોળો કેસ પહેર્યો હતો, ધોળી ચાદર ઓઢી હતી, તે ઉપર બુટ્ટાદાર રજાઈ મોટી હતી અને મસ્તક પર ધોળો ફેટો વિરાજમાન હતો. પોતાના મુખારવિંદની આગળ પરમહંસ તથા દેશ દેશના હરિભક્તની સભા ભરાઈને બેઠી હતી અને પોતાની આગળ પ્રાગજીદેવે કથા કરતા હતા. Pragjidev, one of the devotee, was doing the lecture, spiritual lecture with the front of the Lord Swaminarayan. Pragjidev, he was great devotee, he was Brahmin. પછી શ્રીજી મહારાજ બોલ્યા છે, અમે તો સર્વ પ્રકારે વિચારીને જોયું તો આ સંસારમાં જેટલા કુસંગ કહેવાય છે તે સર્વ કુસંગથી અધિક કુસંગ તે કયો છે? In satsang there are kusang, right? Kusang means no good no good association and good association. So kusang, that kusang, what is kusang in satsang? So there are two people, one who doesn't understand the Vedanta, and one who are not believing in God. So you should not associate with them. That's the all summary of this Vachanamrita. કુસંગ તો અતિ કુસંગ કયો છે તો જેમ પરમેશ્વરની ભક્તિ નહીં અને ભગવાન સર્વના સ્વામી છે ભક્તવત્સલ છે અને પતિત પાવન છે અદમ ઉદાહરણ છે એવો પણ ભગવાનની કોનો જેનો મહિમા હૈયામાં વિશ્વાસ નહીં તો એવો તો આ સંસારમાં બે મત છે એક તો નાસ્તિકનો અને બીજો શુષ્ક વેદાંતિનો બેરન ફિલોસોફી વેદાંત means dry, means barren, means not understanding the Vedas, Vedanta. Okay, then they become there is no God, only we are God, and that is the wrong way. અરે મહાપાપે યુક્ત હોય તેને તો જો ભગવાનનો વિશ્વાસ હોય પણ તેને કોઈ સ્થળે છૂટકો થાય અને બાળતિયા ગહતિયા સ્ત્રીહત્યા દેખ જે મોટા પાપ તેનો કરનારાનો પણ કોઈ કાળે છૂટકો થાય ખરો પણ એ બે મતની જેને પ્રતીતિ થાય તેનો કોઈ કાળે છૂટકો થાય નહીં. Saying that if you do different kind of the sin, okay, great sin, that can be relieved sometime and redeemed and can go to the neighborhood of God. But these two kind of people never can get the redeemed. That's why don't associate with them. Redeemed means not get salvation. ગૌહત્યા કરો સ્ત્રી હત્યા કરો જે કઈ મોટા પાપ તેના કરનારાનો પણ છુટકારો થાય ખરા પણ બે મતની જે પ્રતીતિ આવી તેને કોઈ કાળે છૂટકો નહીં થાય. શા માટે? જેની સમજણ એની હિઝ અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડિંગ ઇઝ વેદ શાસ્ત્ર અને પુરાણ એ થકી ઊંધી છે. સો ઇટ્સ અગેન્સ્ટ ટુ ધીસ their understanding is against to the Ved, scriptures and Puranas. And that's why they don't get the salvation. And then they also let you fall down too. So don't associate with these two people. Okay, atheist and
Vedanta monist
Vedantic
philosophy. Yeah, yeah.
False understanding. એવા નાસ્તિક તો એમ સમજે છે, how they understand કે રામચંદ્રજી અને શ્રી કૃષ્ણ ભગવાન ન હતા, એ તો રાજા હતા. Lord Rama and Lord Krishna was not God. They were just king. That's what they are saying. They understand like that.
Yeah.
They say like that.
Yeah, I've heard
અને
that.
શ્રી કૃષ્ણે દૈત્ય માર્યા અને પરસ્ત્રીનો સંગ કીધો અને ત્રીજા નરકમાં પડ્યા છે. શ્રી કૃષ્ણ was killed the demon and also did the adultery to the other streets. He played with them like a gopis. But he was divine. He was never had material senses there. You know, just he was doing the divine lila. There is nothing there, but they understand like that. They make different way.
Right.
એવી રીતે અધમ ઉદાહરણ અને પતિપાન એવા જે શ્રી કૃષ્ણ ભગવાન એના વિશે પરમેશ્વરની બુદ્ધિ જ નથી અને કર્મે કરીને પોતાનું કલ્યાણ માન્યું છે ત્યારે કર્મ કરતા કરતા કેવળ જ્ઞાન પ્રગટે ત્યારે તે ભગવાન થાય. What they believe is that if you do karmas, if you do continue karmas, good karmas, then you become the Bhagavan, you become the God. That's what they make like that. So you don't have to worship anybody. That's what the wrong belief. એવી રીતે અનંત ભગવાન માન્યા છે. There are many ભગવાન. But there is only one, but they believe like that. All we become Bhagavan. પણ અનાદિ પરમેશ્વર નાસ્તિકને મતે કોઈ નથી અને જેને ભજન કરીને જીવ ભવના બંધન છૂટે શકે થકી છૂટે માટે એ બે મત એ મત છે એ વેદથી વિરુદ્ધ છે અને શુષ્ક વેદાંતિ છે તે તો એમ સમજે છે બ્રહ્મ છે તે જ જીવ રૂપ થયા છે અને જેમ સૂર્ય the Suska Vedanta, the barren philosophy people, they misunderstood Veda. They say whatever the Parabrahm is the become the Brahm, but they are separate entities. It's not the same. But it's a desire of the God, and He created, but they are the separate entity. They cannot become the Brahman, Bhagavan. They are not completely one. They are separate. There are some different philosophy. I'm going to talk about that. માટે જ્યારે એમ સમજે છે હું બ્રહ્મ છું, I am Brahm. You become the Brahm, but then what you have to do? Then you have to join to Padma. Right? And how you do that? You have to do the devotions, Rupnishta and devotion. And then you get there. So he said, once you become Brahm, you don't have to do anything. That's it. So then you cannot go further. So they said like that. હું બ્રહ્મ છું ત્યારે એને કાંઈ સાધન કરવું રહ્યું નહીં અને જ્યારે તે પરમેશ્વર થયા ત્યારે એને કોઈ ભજન પણ કોનું કરવું. So once you become the Brahm, you become the Bhagavan, you become God. So you don't need to do anything. Whom you want to worship? You are the Brahm. You say Brahm is the other Brahm. Same. This came back there. એમ માનીને પાછા પાપ કરતા પણ બીવે નહીં અને they do sin. They said no problem. You do sin, everything is will be okay because we are God now. No problem. માટે આપણે ફરીને જન્મ નહીં ધરવો પડે. We don't have to come back again. We don't have to incarnate again because we are Brahm. પણ શુષ્ક વેદાંતિ એટલો તપાસ કરતા નથી જે માયા પર જે નિર્ગુણ બ્રહ્મ સો તેને પણ એની સમજણે કરીને જન્મનું ઠેકાણું કેમ છે બ્રહ્મ તેને પણ એને સમજણે કરીને જન્મ મરણ ઠેકાણું કેમ છે એમ કહે છે જે બ્રહ્મ છે તે જ સ્થાવર જંગમરૂપ થયા છે ત્યારે જે જીવ હોય તેને માથે જન્મ મરણ હોય. They have cycle of the birth and death. Even you become the human life and then Brahm, but if you don't worship the God, then you have to go through cycling. And if you worship and then you liberate, then you don't have to. So they don't understand that there is God is above this Maya. We are not above the Maya. But if you become the Brahm and you worship the God, then you release and then you liberate.
Right.
અને બ્રહ્મ છે તે સ્થાવર સંગમરૂપ થયા છે ત્યારે જે જીવ હોય તેને માથે જન્મ મરણ હોય અને જન્મ મરણ બ્રહ્મને માથે આવ્યું અને એ તો એમ જાણે છે જે અમે જન્મ મરણથી છૂટશું પણ એમ વિચારતા નથી જે આપણે મતે કરીને બ્રહ્મને માથે જન્મ મરણ સાચું થયું ત્યારે આપણે પણ ઘણું સમજાવશું તો પોતાને બ્રહ્મરૂપ માનીશું તો પણ જન્મ મરણ નહીં ટળે. Even though you believe that you are Brahm, but life cycle of the death and birth will never be destroyed if you don't understand to the God. અને તપાસીને જોતા નથી અને જીવે તો એમ જ બકે છે કે આપણે તો બ્રહ્મ સ્વરૂપ છીએ તે ભજન કોનું કરીએ. We are the Brahm form, so why we have to whom we can worship. So there are many Brahm swarup people do with the samadhi and all this stuff, but there is no worship, then you cannot reach to the God. And God is there no matter what, if you believe or not believe, because nothing is spontaneous. All this go with the harmony, how it can go. So there is one controller. અને કેને નમસ્કાર કરીએ? Whom we can worship, whom we can bow down? Nobody, because we are the Brahm. Aham brahmasmi, right? But aham brahmasmi, but then you go further. Okay. એમ માનીને અતિશય અહંકારી થઈ જાય, then become egoistic. And they become egoistic. અને કેને નમસ્કાર કહીએ અને સમજ્યામાં પણ તો કોઈ આવ્યું નહીં તો પણ જ્ઞાનીનું માન લઈને બેઠા છે. Even they don't understand anything, still they think that we are knowledgeable. અને વિચારતા નથી જે પોતાને મતે કરીને પોતાનો મોક્ષ ખોટો થઈ ગયો અને like this thinking their liberation become the no achievement for liberation for them. Because of their philosophy. What they understood the wrong way to the Vedas. So Veda has everything. It's only that you can understand with the person who has realized like Shastriji Maharaj, Purana Prabhupada. Even though he's not so much scripture study, but he still knows to the God. So he can reveal all the Vedas as well. Shastriji Maharaj was studied Vedas and the scriptures, but he was born with the muktas, so they are like a Purana. So they knows, they have to study, but they are realized that already. અને સાચા જ્ઞાની જે નારદ સંકાદિક સુખજી એ નિરંતર ભગવાનનું ધ્યાન રાખતું કરે. We are true knowledgeable like Narada, Sankadik, they are all worshipping to the Lord and always chanting their name. And also Kirtan, also singing for them. And શ્વેતદીપને વિશે ભગવાનનું જે નિરંતર મુક્ત બેઠા છે તે તો બ્રહ્મ સ્વરૂપ છે, કહેવાય છે બ્રહ્મ સ્વરૂપ, તો પણ ભગવાનનું વર્ણન કરે છે. Even though they are also worshipping God. in Swet,
Shortweek, yeah.
yeah, Swetdip, Niranmuk. Niranmuk means they don't eat anything, they don't eat to anything. And they are also worshipping God all the time, continuous. Even though they are Niranmukta, they don't need to eat anything. They don't do anything. Bhajan, that's it. કરે છે અને પોતે અક્ષર સ્વરૂપ છે. They are look like અક્ષર, form of the અક્ષર, બ્રહ્મ. તો પણ અક્ષરાતીત જે પુરુષોત્તમ, અક્ષરાતીત, above the અક્ષર. Who is that? Lord Purushottam. They are worshipping to them. And they become like a das, servant. અને બદ્રિકાશ્રમને વિશે ઉદ્ધવ અને તનુ ઋષિ આદિક મુનિથી રહ્યા છે, તે પણ તપ કરે છે. અને બદ્રિકાશ્રમમાં ઉદ્ધવ, રામાનંદા સ્વામી, ઉદ્ધવા and તનુ ઋષિ, they are also worshipping to the God. અને નિરંતર ભગવાનની ભક્તિ કર્યા કરે છે, devotion to the God always. અને જે શુષ્ક વેદાંતિ, that barren philosophy who understand the Vedanta barren way against the God, whatever they make them themselves own things, and they have how many jivas? They are the egoist jiva, the atma, soul. તો પણ ભગવાનનું ધ્યાન સ્મરણ વેદ વંદન કરતા નથી. They don't do the worship to the God, they don't do the meditation to the God. અને નારદ સંકાદિક, નારદ and સંકા આદિક, they are સુખજી જેવી સામર્થ્ય છે, તેનું જેવું જ્ઞાન છે, તથા શ્વેતદીપવાસી જે નિરોધમુક્ત, તેને વિશે જેવી સામર્થ્ય છે, તે જેવું જ્ઞાન છે, તથા બદ્રિકાશ્રમના ઋષિ તેમાં જેવી સામર્થ્ય છે, અને જેવું જ્ઞાન છે તેમાં કોટીમાં ભાગની પણ શુષ્ક વેદાંતિને વિશે સામર્થ્ય પણ નથી. સો કોટીઝ means billions of time knowledge of this Sankadik and Niranmukta and all these things have. Still they are worshipping the God. While that barren philosophy Vedantic, they don't know anything. Still they are not worshipping God. પરમેશ્વરના સમોવડિયા થઈને બેઠા, and they are competitor of the God. માટે પાકા અજ્ઞાની છે, અને they are not knowledgeable. They are perfect, pure, unknowledgeable, non-knowledgeable. જેટલા અજ્ઞાની કહેવાય છે તેના રાજા છે. Whatever the people who non-knowledgeable, they are king of that. non-જ્ઞાન. અને એ તો કોટી કલ્પ સુધી નરકમાં પડશે. કોટી billions of years they will go to the નરક. નરક means hell, and they suffer there. અને તે યમનો માર ખાશે. યમદૂત will give them punishment. તો પણ તેનો છૂટકો નહીં થાય. અને એવાનો જે સંગ, તેનું જ નામ કુસલ. To associate with like these people, that's called kusal. No good satsang.
Bad satsang.
Bad association. અને જેમ સત્પુરુષનો જે સંગ, તેથી કોઈ મોટું પુણ્ય નથી. સત્પુરુષ, people who are the divine, like Sastri Maharaj, Purnani Swami, devotees, great devotees, Lada Khachar, Parvat Bhai, like those great devotees, satsang. It is this great punya, great merit. એમ અજ્ઞાની એવા જે શુષ્ક વેદાંતિ, તેના સંગથી કોઈ મોટું પાપ નથી. And to associate like these two people, that's a great sin. There is nothing big sin than that one. માટે જેને કલ્યાણ ઈચ્છું તેને નાસ્તિક અને શુષ્ક વેદાંતિનો સંગ કરવો જ નહીં. ઈતિ વચનામૃતમ ગરડા મધ્યમનું 18મું વચનામૃતમ જે તે થયું, and 19મું વચનામૃત, 19th વચનામૃત after that is also talking about Shushka. Maharaj read the Shushka Vedanti, the barren philosopher of the Vedan scriptures, and he said I become the Atisha lot of sorrow with that. I had said that I should not read this, and my followers should not read like those things. And then he's writing letter to the devotees, to the all you women and men and devotees, that you should never read those scriptures, because you will be fall down from your path of the salvation. And that is 19 Vachanamrita Maharaj has wrote. So Tell me from beginning.
Tattvamasi.
Eh?
Tattvamasi, that thou art, you are that.
Aham Brahmasmi, yeah.
Which, in addition to Advaita, it's non-qualified dualism. So basically, it's achieving that Brahm state to be approaching God. It's still being devotional. The higher the spiritual levels are, the more devotional they are. But it can be misinterpreted that you're already there. You just don't realize it yet. You're already God. You have everything. Everything is one. It's very simple. It's monism, right? And it's funny you mention that because it's true. It's horribly sad because that's it. That's it. You're done. There's no need to be good. There's nothing to strive for. There's no, some people find peace in that, but it's I would find it very, very sad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sajanan Swaminarayan. So Sriji Maharaj saying in the Gurukul Madhyam, middle series 18 and 19 is this, that date was 18 was spoken on the December 14, 1821. December 14. And the 19 was spoken on December 23, 1821.
One of the earlier ones.
Yeah. And Sunday. Another one was Friday. And what Maharaj is saying here, that there are for the devotees, what is the kusam? So Maharaj is saying that two kind of people, vicious people, person like a Gnostic, atheist, and Suska Vedanti. They are following the barrel philosophy of Vedanta. So what they misunderstood the Vedas and go away from the Vedas. And they don't believe in God, actually, because everybody is God, so it's not possible. So you never associate with them. What they think is believe that I am the Brahman and myself, and I don't need to worship anybody. And that's why and Gnostic, the people who are atheists, they believe in the karmas only, on the spiritual aspect. In general, people don't believe in different story, but the spiritual aspect, when there are certain dharmas, philosophy, religious philosophy, they don't believe either. They believe only in karmas, and karmas make you Bhagavan again, God, and that's also wrong. So should be based on the Brahm and Parabrahm, right? Brahm should be joined to the Parabrahman. After you become Brahm, when you recognize as Brahm, then you have to still do the devotional service of the God and know Him and unite with them by yoga or by Sankhya. Then Gadara Madhyam 19 series, 19 Vachanamrit, Maharaj saying that Baron Vedanti, Vedanti philosophy people, does not believe in God. And therefore, no worship of God. And if you hear those philosophy, your intelligence destroyed. So our intelligence confused and doesn't go to the pathway of the Lord. And Bhagavad Gita, on Bhagavad Gita, the Ramanuja Bhashya, Ramanujacharya Bhashya, Tika, or the commentary on Bhagavad Gita, Maharaj said we listened that one katha of the lecture on that day. And then I went to the sleep. And when I went to the sleep, I went to the Goloka. He's mentioning I went to the dream in the Goloka. Not dream, he transmitted it both here and there. But people don't believe, that's why I say I went to the dream. but it's not dream. It's really it goes around because he was a God himself. So he said, I went there. I saw that they were devotionally worshipping the God. Some people were engaged in the study way and singing the song of the kirtan of the Bhagavan God. And that was also what they were singing of the Brahman Swami and Muktan Swami's kirtans. What we are singing here, they were singing there. So Maharaj was saying, look at this, I'm sitting here, but I'm there too, and there also Muktan Swami kirtans singing there too. So Sri Krishna Bhagavan, Sri Krishna Narayan, and they are worshipping Sri Krishna Narayan, the Supreme Purushottam. And so I'm writing the letter today here to for everybody. And why the Purushottam Bhagavan comes in this universe, why he take avatar. So Dharma Sthapan, so and also the people who are Ekantik Bhakta, who has Dharma, Brahmacharya, Ahimsa, etc. Dharma, and Atmanishta, that is Gnana. I am a body, my Atma, my Brahma is my soul. Right? They are separate. That's called Atmanishta, Gnana. Vairagya, the detachment. And Bhakti, Mahatmya Sahit, with glory of the God. Bhakti. These four things who are following the Ekantik Bhakta, they are called Ekantik Bhakta. Oneness with God. And I comes to establish the Dharma plus protect these peoples and give them happiness. Achar Guna Sahit, whatever these four gunas, virtues, Ekantik Bhakta has, to give them darshan, I incarnate here as well. Maharaj saying that. And also, I destroy the adharma, the unrighteousness, I destroy that. And who has, in this avatar, when he comes here, Ram, Krishna, Swaminarayan, Buddha, whatever, avatar we say, Pativrata, Jai Bhakti Rakmani, chess woman. Keep the devotion like a chess woman. Like a chess woman worship their husband like same like how to serve them. Same way you do like that. Just like them, Sita, the wife of the Lord Ram, did the same thing like that. Right? Ananyapana Nishta Raki. And in Nidosh Priti on the Ramchandra Bhagavan. Rukmani with the Krishna Bhagavan, same like that. But when this God disappeared, the avatar disappeared, then you worship that murti. I'm always with them. Okay, with the tulsi, flowers, serve them, that reach to me there. And a sadhu, the saints who are achieved the mukta form in the same life here, still don't worship him. Don't worship him, okay? Never meditate on him. Meditate on the Lord Supreme. You can meditate on Supreme, but if you say that Shastriji Maharaj sitting here, Purana Swami sitting with them, that's fine. But you don't meditate on them. Meditate on Lord. But they are sitting with you because they are divine, Akshar, Mukta. So that's fine. You're sitting there like you can say that, okay, they are worshipping to God or like that, whatever. So that can connect you there, but you don't worship, you don't meditate on the saints.
That's reverence.
Right.
That's worship.
Right.
Yeah, it's a different
Right.
it's a different aspect.
Right.
Yeah.
And this letter we have wrote on 7th and 1878, Maksharvadi 14th Divase. So that was the date of 12/23, 1821. Sahajananda Swami Maharaj Nijay. So we are going to talk about now, there are certain philosophy in according to the Vedanta and how many schools there and all this stuff. So, based on the Upanishad, we have a Vedanta, the end of the Veda, and that is the summary of it is called the
Upanishad.
the Upanishad. Nishida. Up means near. Sit down to who, like Shastriji Maharaj. You sit down near with them. Then you can get knowledge from that. So what the Upanishad has three things. They are talking about Brahm, Parabrahm, that was missing on the other professor, and world, universe, is also relative reality. Okay? So, what is the relative reality? Is a matter, right? And all the other objects, souls and other things, right? Material things. And consciousness. And there are 5 philosophy on that, according to Vedanta, okay? And these are the Devya, what you call the Dvaita. Dvaita is the school, realizes a dualism. There is a soul and Parabrahma. That's what they believe, two reality. And soul and consciousness. Consciousness is kind of the soul. Soul and consciousness. Consciousness means Parabrahma. And it's Madhvacharya. Okay? And Veda, Ved, Aved. And that is the philosophy of the Dvaita and Advaita, both they believe in. And that is a mixture of that. So there is a difference, also not difference. They are both, but once you release, then they are saying same. You have become Mukta. Vishishtadvaita. That was of Brahma Rajacharya and our Mata, Swaminarayan Bhagavan. Okay? And that is absolute truth, absolute monoism. Absolute monoism. Right? There is a one. There is also the reality there in the absolute. There is a one Parabrahma, but there is also the soul is there. Then there is a material world there. They are all real. That's what they are talking about. And other one is Sudh Advaita. Sudh, pure.
Yeah.
And that is the Vallabhacharya.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Vallabhacharya. And Keval Advaita, only monoism, only one, Keval, one, no soul, nothing else.
Yeah, okay.
And that is the Sankaracharya.
Oh, Shankar.
Monotheism they believe, but they said there is only one. This world, these are all the illusion, nothing else. But other philosophy said no, world is also real. It's also got Mayas, and that was necessary in this world. But Sankaracharya is saying that there is Maya is illusion, just like the rope and the snake. You misunderstood as a rope, as a dark, you understand that it is a snake. But once you know that it's not snake, once you know light, then you see there's a rope, so it's an illusion. Then you don't believe that it's snake. The same thing, this world is illusion. That's Sankaracharya. So that was the minor difference. So what they say is that this all the soul and everything is merged to the Lord, so Parabrahma, and they don't have to do anything. But other Vaishnava philosophy believe that they are separate, still remain different entity. Once you get liberated, you become mukta and you stay with the service of the God there in the Akshata. And what Sankaracharya's philosophy say that you merge with them.
Become one
So
with,
it's just understanding like that, but it's very hard to understand that. But still, ultimately, maybe whatever they are understood like that, but it's the same thing like that. You become as a mukta and Parabrahma there. Brahma and Parabrahma. So Vedanta, people who are the Suska Vedanti, Maharaj was saying, they are mainly the misunderstood the Veda and then making their own thing, and they say, I am the God. They are different. Right? They are making their philosophy, their understanding, their own things. Okay. So dualistic school People who are dualistic, two things is that they are saying that word and Brahman, God, Supreme, they are two different entities. Okay? They are two different entities. That's what they are saying. And both are equally equally real. And qualified monoism, Vishishtadya, is also saying the word and Brahman, Supreme, both are real, but both are not different entities. They are saying not different entities. They are the same entities. That's what they are saying. And both depend and not depend. They both are different and not different. Different and not different, like a dualism. And Advaita is a non-dual school, and this is the reality, or the word is different. Reality of the word is different. And Brahman is the only reality. The God, Supreme, is the only reality. The word is not real. That's what they are saying. It's illusion. Okay? It's illusion, but still it's true. That's what the other philosophy is saying. Okay. And Vishishta, that qualified monoism, is the Ramanuja and Lord Swaminarayan. They say word and Brahman, the Lord Supreme, equally real entities and dualism. But word is not separate from the Brahman. It's just part of the Brahman. Word. Then they give the analogy like a sea and a wave. When you see the sea, there is a wave. So they are separate, they are the same. Same like this word is same. That's what the example, the analogy they are giving.
That sounds Upanishadic to me.
Yeah, right.
That's like a drop in the ocean, yeah.
And also Brahman is the object of the word. Both living and non-living souls are also real. So what happened is the Brahman, the Vishnu, Lord Supreme, he incarnates, and similarly dualism, only difference is material enjoy in higher states. Kevaladitya is a monotheism, higher intellectual of the spirituality. And word is real is denied. The word is not real. That's what the solo Advaita of the Shankaracharya. And there are 6 schools. After this, from this, there are 6 schools of the Sast Darshana. You know, Darshana? Darshana means to 6 system school of the thought. And that are the Nyaya. Nyaya is they use the logic, and Gautam is the sage, Rusi. And Vaisheshika is Kannada is the sage, Rusi, and they talk about the Nyaya, and they come from the Nyaya, Vaisheshika. And that's also talking about the logics too. And Sankhya is Kapil Dev, and Yoga is the Patanjali. Mimamsa, other one is Mimamsa. Okay? And Mimamsa is the, Jaimini is the Rusi, and Vyas. So, what happened here is Mimamsa is divided in Purva Mimamsa and Uttar Mimamsa. Purva means early one, that belong on the Karma card of the Vedas. Karma card, all the rituals. Like Yagna and all this stuff.
I didn't.
And Vedanta Upanishad is the Uttar Mimamsa, the later one.
The end of the famous.
And that one gives you the all the. That's Rusi is the Bhadra and the Vyasa. So darshan of the school of the philosophy in the Hinduism is seeing, mainly the oneself seen. That's the sudarshan. So what that's described is speculate upon the nature of the existence, God, soul, matter, nature, reality, creation, and truth. Means to liberation. These are all means to liberate, how to liberate. And they talk about that. And cause and effect, and so on, according to their fundamental belief of the Sikh school. So there are Sankhya school, right? There is a Sankhya school. So Sankhya school has a talk about numbers, right? Tattvas, elements. And two realities present in existence. So it's Kapil Dev is talking about that. And there are two things, right? Purusha is a person, and individual soul, Purush is individual soul. And the Prakriti, nature, right? Prakriti is nature. Prakriti is multiple, only one. For Purusha many, soul many. Okay. So Purusha is a person and is a numerous, many, and the effect of Purusha is eternal and indivisible. You cannot divisible, indivisible. And Prakriti is nature, single, is a single. It can penetrate with the Prakriti and then they become the other elements. And the Prakriti is yet eternal but divisible. You can devise that. It goes to all the other elements. Divisible and into the 23 realities of the tattvas, elements. 23, 24, whatever, according to what you call. Both together represent 24 realities, 24 elements. Prakriti and Purush get together, okay, and they become 24 elements. And that's what I'm going to go again. And both together represent 24 realities or building block of the life. Okay? And being come into the existence when the reality of the nature and individual soul embodied in become together and become the individual soul. An individual soul individual soul becomes like that. So what happened is cosmic principles of the, according to Sankhya, is the supreme being. Then you have a conscious spiritual entity, right? Spiritual entity. And from that entity you have Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, creator, sustainer, and destroyer. And then from that becomes the Purusha, comes from there. Okay, supreme, then conscious spiritual entities, there's Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, and then they create the Purusha. Okay, and the unconscious material also come from supreme. Okay, and what happened there? They give you the matter, nature, and energy. That was come from the unconscious material, from the supreme. And they combine both, Purusha and Prakriti. Okay? I've told you before, right? The Purusha is a self. Prakriti is non-self. Okay? And the Prakriti gives three gunas to the Purusha and they combine. Sattva, Raj, and Tam. Right? And Sattva gives the happiness and the pleasure. Rajas give you pain. And Tamas will give you stupendous, unconscious type things, bad things to do. So this, whatever measure is that they make that way the human, all this stuff, whatever they have to make. So life, like a magnet of the Prakriti is like a magnet. And just like a woman, right? It's like a magnet, it's like that. So same is like a kind of work as a tree, right? Because their Purush will combine with them. and Prakriti will combine with them. And then what will be happen? The Purusha received its conscious. Okay? They receive their conscious, means the life. And that is give you the Mahatatva. Mahat means great embryo, the golden embryo. Right? And that embryo will give the consciousness to the Purusha. Okay? And also the Buddhi will come from also from Prakriti, and also Ahankar will come from there. So ego. So that ego will be again developed from Tamas, Sattva and Raj. Okay? And that will lead to...
That's dependent upon karmas, right?
Karmas,
yeah, so the karmas are manifested into your next life by the levels of different
what gunas you have.
Gunas are applied.
Virtues,
Okay. Yeah.
So Tamas, Sattva and Rajas. Tamas, what you will do, Tamas is like a patient, right? So what it will do? Tamas will give you the mind. Man, Buddhi, Chitta and Ahankar. Okay? And that will further goes to the 5 Gnanendriya, 5 senses of the cognitive. Right? What are those? Eyes, these 5 things. So let's say Dhran is Sakshu, Tvak, Stotra and Rasna. And Gandha, nose. And 5 Karmendriya, 5 Karmendriya. That is the anus, sexual organ, leg, hand and mouth. Right? Payu, Upastya, Pad, Pani, and then Vak. Pani means hand. Vak means mouth. And then also they give you 5 subtle of the elements, and those are the Tanmatras, Sabda, Pas, Rupas and Gandha. Sound, touch, sight, taste and smell. From there you will have Pancha Mahabhuta created.
5 elements.
5 elements, 5 physical elements. And there are Prithvi, Jal, Tej, Vayu and Akash. The earth, water, light, air and Akash, space. These 5 things created. Okay? And then the consciousness comes. And depend on who will become the human, who will become the other materials, depend on their virtues, according to karmas. Okay? That was the thing I came into, because this was Maharaj was talking, was philosophy is different, so I talked about that. But ultimately we have to understand is this: we are soul, we are separate from body, and we are Brahm. You have to create that level to Brahm. And that Brahm, once you recognize your Atma, soul, then what you have to do is worship to the Lord and dedicate to the Lord, dedicate association with the great sadhu, great devotees, and then you connect to the Paruna. Right? Sahajananda Swami Maharajani Jai, Hari Krishna Maharajani Jai, Swaminarayan Devani, Radharaman Devani Jai. I bow down to His Holiness Shastriji Maharaj for his disappearance day of 33, and also we pray to the person who has to his birthday, the Veer Suthar and their family, Nishad and their family, Nishad Patel and their family, and our family for the Radhika's and Krishna's birthday. Sahajananda Swami Maharaj. આવી છું તરત કરી તાજી રે એલાજી.
ભાત સાગર છે જાની રે જમો ને થાળ જીવન જાઉવાની રે ચડું
ઘરો લાવીનું જળ જારી રે એલાજી.
લવિંગ સોપારી રે પાન બીડી બનાવી સારી રે જમો ને થાળ
જીવન જાઉવાની
વારી રે મુખ વાસમન ગમતા
લઈને રે
પ્રસાદી થાળ તણી દઈને રે ભૂમાનંદ કાહે રાજી થઈને રે જમો ને થાળ જીવન જાઉવાની રે. સહજાનંદ સ્વામી મહારાજની જય.
જય મહારાજ સ્વામિનારાયણ બાપા નમો. નમો ભગવાન નમો. સુગંધિતા સુગંધિતા પુષ્પ સુગંધિતા થાળ છે. સુગંધ સરસ આવે. વેરી નાઇસ સ્મેલ. સ્વામિનારાયણ ભગવાન જમો.
Hare Krishna Maharajani Jai.
Hari Nama Devani Jai. Go. Ananda Bhagat Jai Swami. Jai Swami. So you can come and move. Hey.
Want me to stay here?
So move.
Oh,
Come in there.
Jai Swami.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yes.
Jai Swami. Very good. Sahajan Swami Maharaj.
Sadhya, Sadhya.
Who was present, so you have to put it in, right?